Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ian Preston here on my second YouTube channel, Ian Preston Reviews. Welcome back to another movie review, and today I will be reviewing The Little Mermaid 2023, the live-action Little Mermaid movie. I had just watched this today, and I thought it was fantastic. And there is no mid-credits or after-credits scene, but it's directed by Rob Marshall, and if you're watching this, Rob Marshall, you did a fantastic job. Thank you so much for making this Disney movie. And Halle Berry is in it, and she is Ariel. Melissa McCarthy, I think, does Ursula, and then Javier Bowers, or whatever. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing his name, but he does Ariel's dad, and I don't really know any of the other people really, but I know for a fact this is the live action version of the cartoon Little Mermaid, which I just recently watched last month, and this really put a big smile to my face, and it had good humor with Sebastian, and Flounder looked really adorable, um, and so did oh yeah, and there was this bird, I can't remember her name, some pelican. The movie begins with Eric on the ship, and these pirates killing fish to get for food, and then Eric doesn't want to be like them, and he's like on the side of the boat, and then his I can't remember his name, but he tries to get him to like not fall off the ship or something, and tries to convince him to be one of them. And then under the sea, we have um, the king of the sea is having all of his daughters. One of them is played by she was in what was that movie called? Jumanji: The Next Level. She was Spencer's avatar at the beginning, and then all of a sudden she's one of Ariel's sisters, I think, and they were having this little gathering, and then Ariel isn't there. Her and Flounder are going to abandoned ships, and then they get attacked by a shark, and they manage to trap the shark and trick the shark, um, and then they go into the area where Ariel has her little home where she has all the human stuff, and then apparently and then Ariel goes, and then Sebastian finds her, I think, and then tells her not to tell anybody about this. And then Sebastian reminds Ariel of what was going on, and then Mr. Ariel's father is disappointed in her, tries to tell her that humans are dangerous, humans killed your mother. And then next thing you know, as she swims off, she sees she sees fireworks. Then all of a sudden, and there was a big celebration with Eric and his men and his dog Max. Then all of a sudden, a storm hits. Then all of a sudden, they all have to evacuate because then the storm hits a rock, and then Max runs back to save his dog, and then fires ignite, and then the doggy paddle. Max uses doggy paddle, and Ariel helps out, and then all of a sudden, Ariel has to leap into action to save Eric, because then Eric falls in the water, and then Ariel saves his life, and then wakes him up with her song. And earlier, when she was collecting, she did sing about wanting to be part of the world. Then she sang to wake up Eric, and then some men find Eric alive, bring him back to the castle. Ariel sings about wanting to be part of the world again, and then Eric tries to explain to the queen that the mystery girl, saved his life, but she wouldn't believe him, and then wouldn't allow him to go on other voyages anymore. And then he goes out, sings a song about wanting to find her, and then he would get on a ship and try to find her. And then this Ursula gal, the queen witch, keeps watching Ariel with these creepy eels, and Ariel, and then the king of the sea encourages urges Sebastian to protect Ariel and to watch over her. And then this is my favorite part of the movie. He tries to convince Ariel about staying under the sea, sings a song Under the Sea, and then it's so beautiful. It's nothing like the cartoon version, but it's really a beautiful sight with all the sea creatures and all dancing, singing to the song Under the Sea. No instruments played though, but yeah, anyway, Ariel Ariel eventually gets exposed eventually because she finds a statue, puts it in her room, and then Sebastian isn't able to like keep a secret, but then all of a sudden Ariel, and I like also earlier how this bird is like that they know snatches a fish had to go in for a snack, and then she's like, okay, I need to go back up, I need to get some air. Then all of a sudden I guess Sebastian isn't able to like tell he struggles to tell the king about Ariel's secret. The king, enraged, realizes that his daughter's been keeping secrets, and then he destroys her stuff. And then Ariel was heartbroken. And then out of nowhere, Ursula appears from the eels, like leaving a message in a bubble, and then she gets Ariel to come, and there's like little mini volcanoes underwater, and then this big skeleton mouth of some sea creature, and then Ursula convinces Ariel to be a human for 3 days. And she knows that for 3 days, and she knows that she wants to get a kiss from Eric. And then she said, if you don't get the kiss, you'll be a mermaid, but if you do get a kiss, you'll be a human permanently. She has her own little song too, which is I don't think is, which is not good because of a villain. And then all of a sudden, she gives she gives her the power of the being a human, and then she's not able to breathe underwater. She has to quickly get up ashore. She doesn't have any clothes on, and then this man finds her, and then finds something to cover her up, and then Flounder has to go back underwater, and then the bird and what was his name, Sebastian. Sebastian gets in a little crate because he follows, and then apparently she's unable to speak like in the cartoon one. She meets with Eric, and then well, actually doesn't meet with Eric yet. She gets into the kingdom. They get her clothes. They get her settled in. They let her sleep, and then she meets with Eric. Eric shows. I mean, first Ariel looks around in this treasury area room, and then Eric finds her, and then decides to take her to look around the very next day. They go in a carriage. Ariel you wants the horse to go faster, and then they go into this area where there's a big party, and then they dance, and then later that evening they take a little sail on the boat on a little boat, and then Sebastian, that bird, and I can't remember her name, and then Flounder, they sing a song, Kiss the Girl, and make it all light. And then all of a sudden, enraged by this, Ursula wants to get her revenge, and then they were about to kiss, but all of a sudden fall in the water, and then they go back to their place, go to sleep, and then but as Eric is about to leave, because again, Ursula finds this potion or this thing to transform her into a beautiful mermaid, and hypnotize him, which she does to get him to fall in love with her. And then the next morning, Ariel's heartbroken when she finds him with Ursula, but she doesn't even know it's Ursula. Then she cries, and then all of a sudden, um, the bird finds out that Ursula is has been finds out about Ursula's plan. Sorry about that. That's my clock in the background. She finds out about Ursula's plan, tells Sebastian and Flounder and Ariel, and eventually they go up there and excuse me quickly because it's sunset, and then eventually Max knows what's up. He attacks Ursula, and nobody knows that Ursula's an evil sea witch. And then um, Ariel grabs the thing, the voice that Ursula's been holding from her, puts it on her chest, and then gets her voice back. And yeah, earlier it was a really earlier. By the way, I forgot to mention when Sebastian and Ariel were looking at the skies. I mean, Eric and Ariel were looking at the skies. They could see stars, and one was named Aries, and then she was saying, trying to, oh, Aries, and then Ariel, and then that's how she convinced him that is her name is Ariel. But anyway, excuse me. She, when they were trying to look for the ring, I remember Grandpiece or whatever kicked it because he knew what was up, and then Ariel fought to get her voice back, and then she got her voice back, and then enraged by this, Ursula was furious, and then all of a sudden all of a sudden she turns back into a mermaid and she laughs evilly, which was annoying, and then she turns into Ursula, and everyone was shocked and scared when she turns into a tentacle scary sea witch. And then they run, and then Ariel goes back underwater. Then all of a sudden sees her dad, but then Ursula kidnaps Ariel and then sadly tortures Ariel with her eels. And then her dad tries to stop Ursula, but then Ursula grabs the eels, and then they electrocute him, and then he dies. And then all of a sudden, they Ariel uses something to like. Well, then Eric comes, and then Eric uses something to or Ariel or Eric, I can't remember, but they use that to destroy the two eels, which were Ursula's babies, and she's like, "No, my babies!" And then they swim to shore. Ursula gets furious. She turns into a big giant Ursula, holding Ariel's dad's staff. But all of a sudden, she tries to kill Eric, but then Ariel fights, even though she's just a mermaid now. She doesn't have legs. She uses a huge ship and then uses it to impale Ursula, and then Ursula dies. And then her dad comes back to life. She gives the staff to her dad, and then Eric goes home. Ariel goes home. Then eventually, sadly, um, the queen of the kingdom says, "Sorry, it wasn't meant to be. Our worlds aren't meant to collide together." But um, Ariel's father lets Ariel go back to the kingdom to be reunited with Eric. He uses his magic to bring her back to life. I mean, to turn her into a human, but to have her voice. He said she was gonna miss him, and yeah. But then Ariel and Eric reunite, they get married, and then they go out on another voyage. The queen sets Eric, or I think that's his mother, she sets Eric and Ariel out on another voyage, and then Ariel's father appears, congratulates her and them, and then they share a hug, and other mermaids, including Ariel's sisters, and mermen and mermaid kids, and also Flounder and Sebastian and that bird that I can't remember her name. They said they'd always be there for them, and also the whole kingdom, Eric's kingdom. They said they would always be there for them, and then this causes Ariel to tear up and then hug her dad, saying "Thank you, I love you so much," which was a very sweet scene. And then they go off onto a ship onto their next voyage, and yep, and then that was the end. No post credits or after credits scenes or mid credit scenes, but the music was amazing, the visual effects were amazing, everything was amazing about this movie. Puts a smile to my face. 10 out of 10, and actually, yeah, 10 out of 10.7 out of 10. I'll rate this a 10.7 out of 10. Disney did not do so bad on this one. Really, it was great. Rob Marshall and the the cast of this whole movie. Thank you guys so much for making this movie possible. I really enjoyed it, and I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell, check out Ian Preston, my first channel. Link will be in the description, and please drop a like if you enjoyed this Little Mermaid movie. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys today on Ian Preston Reviews. Subscribe for reviews, plain old reviews, reaction reviews, and just plain old reviews. And thank you guys for watching. Peace out. I love you guys all.